What's the last week been like, not only for you, this program, but also for your family? Because I know you're from Haines City, and that area, I imagine, saw something. So what's it been like dealing with everything?
It's been just one of those things, that we had to get used to. It was out of our control, and like you said, my family, they was going through the storm. They still a lot of power down there, but it's just one of those things. You got to handle that when it's time to handle that, and then focus on football when it's time to focus on football.
How about getting back to practice after going through all that? How the first couple days been?
Oh, it felt great. We kind of started slow the first day, but after that, we kind of picked it up. We were getting back into our rhythm, and I feel like we're doing good now.
What was that like for you? Were you one of the guys who were in war with everybody during the storm? What was that experience like?
It was cool. It was actually kind of fun. Being at the school with my teammates, and we just having fun, playing the games, playing the video games, just different stuff, getting away from football, and it was actually fun, to be honest.
Have you noticed the stress come off of you and some of your teammates who are having to deal with, keeping track of your family and just watching everything that was happening?
You can repeat? I couldn't hear you.
Do you feel like a lot of the stress kind of came off after, finding out everyone was safe and all that?
Oh, yeah, definitely, especially from the, people that on the team that got families from, South Florida, the Miami area, and Fort Lauderdale. So, a lot of those guys were worried because we wasn't sure where the storm was going to hit, but we just happy everybody was safe and, everybody's family was good.
We heard Jimbo speak Wednesday about normalcy, getting back to a flow of things. I mean, do things feel normal even though there's not a game Saturday? Does it feel like preseason, or is it just kind of some weird mix of like a preseason bye week, or does it feel like the season, or how would you assess it?
We're kind of in camp still, because we only played one game so far. Everybody played like 3 games, but it feel like we're still in camp. We're in camp mode. We got a lot more practices to get ready for NC State. So it feel like we're in camp, and we just not trying to waste a day out here and, take every day serious.
How has James done on the offensive side of the ball in the practices you guys have had the last couple of days?
James doing great. James making throws, James making checks. James doing great. All I can say is, he's gonna be ready when it comes game time.
Derwin, it's been a long time since you guys have played. It's going to be a little while still until you play again. Just how anxious are you guys to get back out there, especially this early in the season?
Oh, yeah, we're ready because every week we're watching these games on Saturday. A lot of teams that will be playing this year, and we want to play, but it's not our time to play right now. So we just focusing on getting better. Embracing the practice days that we have to get better and work on some things that we wouldn't normally have time for during the week. So now we got more time to focus on stuff.
Derwin, you said this has kind of been almost like an extension of camp, kind of feels like camp. How have the younger guys, the freshmen, has this been good for them? Has it been beneficial?
Yeah, it's definitely been beneficial, especially, for our new quarterback and, a lot of the new freshman guys, and, just helping them learning how to game plan and just different stuff of the schemes, and just, like I said, getting a lot of more mental reps and being out there and not just thrown into the fire. So it's getting them more practice, and it's helping us as a team.
Your first home game is supposed to be your third home game. You're supposed to be getting ready for a rivalry game this week.
Yeah.
I mean, how special is it going to be? How different is it going to be running out of that tunnel at home like a month into the season?
Oh, man, it don't matter when we run out to the tunnel. I feel like anytime you take the stadium inside of that stadium is just one of those things. So I feel like even though it's just a month, it's been a month since we played at home. I feel like it's just we still gonna get that same feeling that we would get if it was the first week or the second week.
Hey, Derwin, I know you guys weren't thrilled with the special teams performance in that first game with this extra time. Have you guys devoted a little bit more effort to special teams to kind of clean up some of that stuff?
Not on the special teams, but just everything. Every phase of the game we're working on: defense, offense, special teams, just everything. We're cleaning up everything.
Derwin, how much of a challenge is it going to be now having to play 10 straight games after these 2 open weeks?
I don't feel like it's going to be a challenge. I feel like that's what we need. We already got our bye week out the way, and we could just catch a rhythm, and I feel like we'll be good.
All right. So Jimbo has praised freshman quarterback James Blackman quite a bit, but getting a new quarterback, having these extra 2 weeks off to get him ready, how would that transition be?
I feel like it'll be a good transition for him. I kind of wanted to see him play against ULM first, get that warm-up game. But I feel like with this extra week of practice, I feel like just going against the ones, good on good, I feel like we're giving him a good enough look. And I feel like come NC State, he'll be ready. So.
I mean, we've heard people talk about, hey, James, but kind of sticking with that. I mean, what have you kind of seen from the pieces around him, the rest of the offense, that lets you know, like, okay, they're on board and trying to help him out? I mean, is it guys talking to him off to the side? Is it people cleaning up little things? What would you say you've noticed?
I noticed that, the receivers are going to work for him. Any ball that he makes thrown to them, they're taking it to a whole nother level and just making plays on the ball. And then the O-line, of course, they're helping them out a little bit. But everybody just, stepping up their game on that side of the ball a lot. We as a team, we see it. As a defense, we see it. And, it's taking our game to another level, too, because they pushing us in practice now, too. So it's just great that everybody coming around him, not just leaving him in the fight by himself. So everybody want to be there for him.
I guess before the Alabama game, he was real vocal in the locker room. Mm-hmm. What is that like to see a young guy take that role, even though he wasn't expected to even play?
He's been vocal, ever since, camp. Even during camp, some of the days when we talk, he's been vocal. So it's not just because we're playing Alabama. He's a guy that, people on the team look up to him, even though he's a freshman. He has influence on the team, and a lot of guys look up to him just the way how he carries himself, and just going through the summer workouts. He was working hard, so it's good hearing that from a freshman. It lets you know that this program in good hands for the next couple of years, or if DeAndre come back or whatever it is, So it's good.
So, I mean, what's kind of been your thoughts on his arm? Because everybody talks about his strength, but coaches who've coached against him said, hey, he can place the ball anywhere. I mean, okay, the look on your face suggests that. So, I mean, what would you say kind of maybe that one throw you've seen in practice, whether it be recently or since, camp started, that's made you go like, oh, wow, I didn't see this coming?
It was one throw that wowed me in practice one time. Me and Trey, we was taking a half, and then the receiver was crossing, and he threw the ball between us, and we couldn't hit the receiver or nothing. It was just the perfect low ball, and just a lot of throws, even the corner routes, the post routes, just all his routes are just the ball's going to be there. Kind of like Francois, the ball's just going to be there, and those guys have a great arm.
Jordan, you said you're spending the weekends watching some of the other games. Obviously, this weekend there's a big ACC game, Clemson and Louisville. Will you watch it kind of as a fan, get excited, or will you kind of scout those teams? Because those are some big opponents.
I'm fans of a lot of players, on the team, on the different teams, just from growing up, 7-on-7 camps and just different stuff with the players. So I want to see some of the players do good, of course, and then, of course, I got to scout them because, unfortunately, we get to play against them. So it's both as a fan and as a scout report.
How do you prepare for a player like Jalen Samuels, a guy that gets used in so many different ways, like NC State deploys him in a lot of different formations?
It's kind of like, going against myself because, they try to use him and get him the ball, in Florida State, try to use me as a versatile to give the offense a different look. So it's kind of basically the same, I know that they'll put him at receiver, they'll put him at running back, kick return, punt return, just everything. You got to know what he had at all times. He's a very explosive guy, dangerous guy. So.
Anything else?
Since you guys had a little extra time over the weekend, did you get to watch Dalvin?
Oh, yeah.
What did you think about his performance?
Oh, Dalvin, yeah. Every time he got the ball, I was anxious, to see what he do. It was about 15 of us at my house, and, we all watched the game, and it was great. We wanted to see him do good, and he did good. We always knew what he could do, so it wasn't no surprise.